on March 26th at Briggs Kia here in town. We were purchasing our second vehicle and Oakley was with us. She was starting to get cranky while we were there, and so I told Jake, because we were so close to being done, I was like, I'm just gonna go sit in the car, I'll feed her, play with her just so it's not distracting. Jake came out and said that they were finished and he's gonna go pull the car around. And I walked around the car and put her in behind the passenger seat in her car seat. And just from the time period of me putting her in her car seat and walking around to the driver's seat was the time where everything kind of went downhill. Her color was changing and it just looked like she couldn't breathe. So I got her unbuckled and I pulled her into my arms, but by the time I got her into my arms, she went unresponsive.
I saw Courtney holding Oakley lifeless, literally lifeless, in her hands, and she was crying, and I parked the car so quickly and ran inside.
She comes running into the building screaming, "My baby's not breathing."
She was screaming, "Does anybody know CPR?" And so I went and grabbed her and I laid her on the desk. And I started checking her airways. I had one of the guys call 911, and that's when Josh came over. And I was checking her pulse, and she was there was nothing.
And I did begin CPR. After about 15 minutes of CPR, she did start to gasp for air, and we knew that she had a pulse. And we continued to perform CPR until the EMTs arrived to take over the situation.
I was trying to be strong for Courtney, which was very hard because we were both crying and very emotional. When I saw Oakley get in the ambulance, I was like, I hope this isn't the last time I get to see my baby girl alive.
I think by the time we got to the hospital, the paramedics said she was unresponsive for a total of between 10 to 15 minutes. And I knew that usually when you're not responsive for that long, it's not a good outcome. And so the whole time I'm just thinking like, my baby, like, this can't be happening to me.
About a few hours later, we all did get a call saying that baby Oakley was much better and she is making a full recovery. So it was definitely peace of mind for us.
So it took a month at Children's for them to kind of determine it. We don't have a set diagnosis of what caused it, but it did turn out that she has an undiagnosed heart condition. They're trying to do a lot of research. So far they've found one other case like hers out of research all over the world. And we're hoping they can find some more. So treatment's pretty limited right now. She's doing good, she's thriving. They weren't sure if she would or not because of how long she was unresponsive. There was a high chance that she wouldn't meet her milestones, but she's doing great. She's 8.5 months old now and a chunky little baby. So she's blowing everyone's mind that she's doing so well. You would never have thought that she ever went through that at 2 months old.
I don't even know how to thank them. They did so much that day. I mean, if it wasn't for them, my daughter wouldn't be here. I wish I could return the favor with any way I could, but it's just amazing what they did.
It was kind of like natural reaction. After being a lifeguard for several years and then being in the military, you kind of learn to respond to situations like that.
I've been CPR certified since I was 14. I never thought that I would have to ever give a baby CPR.
I thought it would never happen to me. Like other parents probably don't think that it would happen to them, and it could at any time. We didn't know she had a heart condition. And so it's not like we were expecting it. And so while we were at Children's Mercy, we went through the courses of learning CPR. So now we know what to do if it ever happens again.
I feel proud of what I was able to do to help her out, and it definitely means the world to see her progress. It means everything seeing that she's actually able to live a life, especially so young. She's got such a bright future ahead of her.
I'm glad that she could see another day, that there's hope in figuring out everything that's going on with her.
There's no way that I can thank them enough for what they did. They saved my child, and there's no amount of thanks or appreciation that I could send to them. And I definitely am gonna raise Oakley to know who they are, because that's why she's still living, is because of them.